Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to mount up a set of 22 Designs Lynx bindings. As a disclaimer, I'm not a ski technician, but I've always mounted my own bindings. It's not a difficult process, but if you have any doubts about your abilities, then you should probably have them professionally mounted. There are lots of things that can go wrong. You could drill through your skis, you could mount the bindings in the wrong place or out of alignment, or you might not get them securely attached and they could pull out of your ski. That being said, let's get started. I'm going to mount this binding using the boot center method. This is a set of Voile skis, and they publish the boot center position for all of their skis. I measure it from the tip of the ski and mark the boot center on a piece of masking tape. Now I need to establish the center line of the ski. There are lots of ways to do this, but I like to use a paper center ruler. You can find them online and print one out. The reason why I use a paper ruler is that it's real easy to roll it around the curvature of the top sheet. You can pull it tight and then fold it across the steel edge of the ski, adjust it as necessary, and find the exact center of the ski. I like to establish 3 center points on about the middle third of the ski. And then I take a straight edge and connect the dots and draw a center line on some masking tape. If the 3 dots don't line up exactly, then something is amiss and you need to remeasure. This is the paper template for the binding, and it has lines that could be used to center the template, but I like my method better as I think that establishing the center line over a longer section of the ski will give a better result. When you download and print out a template, you need to make sure that it is printed to the actual size. Don't use any printer scaling. To double check, lay the binding on top of the paper template and visually check to make sure that the drill holes are centered on the binding screw hole locations. If so, then the template is good to go. This boot is the new Scarpa TX Pro, and the boot center position is marked on the sole. Just look for the line in front of the duck butt. The boot also has the boot sole length printed on the heel of the boot, which is 308 millimeters for this size 27.5 Mondo boot. The standard method to locate the boot center is to measure on the sole from the toe pin socket to the back of the heel and divide it by 2. Now this can be a bit subjective as to where the back of the boot is. Some use the sole, others use the shell heel. The numbers on the 22 design template correspond to the boot sole length, not the boot Mondo size. I'll use the sole length numbers on the template as a starting point, but for the final location, I put the boot in the binding and place it over the template with the drill hole location centered in the binding holes, and then I'll check to see where the boot center lies. Once the fore-aft position is established, I'll tape the template down to the ski, aligning the center line on the paper template to the center line that I've drawn on the ski. Next, I'll center punch the 6 holes for the toe piece. Do not punch the 2 holes for the heel piece. Remove the template and carefully drill the front toe piece holes. Again, do not punch or drill the heel piece. The heel piece location will be determined later. I have a special drill bit that I use that will drill the correct diameter and depth of hole. But if you don't, just use a drill bit that meets the specs listed on the instruction sheet and be careful that you don't drill through the ski. 22 Design recommends that you also use a threaded tap. This ski does not have a metal plate, so I'm going to omit this step. One last thing before you mount the binding. Place the screw into the binding and measure the protruding screw length and compare it to the ski thickness to make sure that the screw won't go all the way through the ski and come out the bottom. That would be a bummer. I'm going to use epoxy in the screw holes with this mount. The glue will make a watertight seal and help to bond the screws to the wood core. An epoxy mount will make it difficult to remove the screw in the future, but that's exactly the point. As a side note, Voile does not recommend mounting a Telemark binding on this or any of their Hyper class of skis. This ski is beyond their warranty time frame, and I have confidence in my epoxied mounts, but if you are a heavy aggressive skier, you should probably pick a different ski. I get each of the screws started, and then I use a cross pattern to tighten them down, tightening each screw little by little as I move from one screw to the next until they are all tight. My final tightening will be done with a big screwdriver with a number 3 tip. Make sure that they are all snug. I won't use a power drill as I think I have better feel for the tightness when doing it by hand. Once you're done with the front, mount the boot up and mark the back of the heel onto the ski. Cut off the back of the paper template and place it as indicated. Punch, drill, glue, and screw as you did for the front. Do a final check to make sure the heel wires function. This is the final weight of my setup, 177 centimeter Voile Hypervector with a 22 Designs Lynx binding. Now I know you want to put on the boots and test the binding, but wait at least 24 hours for the glue to fully cure. So here I am, 24 hours later, doing a carpet test. I'm very curious about this new setup. I'll do a separate video with my initial impressions, so stay tuned. Until next time, be safe and be kind.